I love this article. It's on your LinkedIn profile, but it's talking about like, can you explain the IQ, EQ, OQ concept that you've written about?
Yeah, this is a thing that came to me over the course of my career as a bit of a personal discovery. And I think as the article describes, I think early on, I definitely followed the process of thinking IQ meant everything. If I was smarter than everybody else, I would be more successful than everyone else. And through the school of hard knocks, I think a lot of us learn that there's different types of intelligence that you have to have an appreciation for, and that you have to develop. And I think in that article, what I attempted to do is to make folks aware of, IQ doesn't solve it all, and neither does EQ. And at certain times in your career, as you're aspiring to take on larger and larger responsibilities, between IQ, which is obviously intelligence quotient, EQ, the emotional side of it, and then what I call the organizational quotient, which is understanding how to navigate an organization to achieve outcomes. All three of those are required in different levels at different stages of your career in different situations. But I think a lot of folks will ignore the OQ side of it. I think EQ has gotten much more press these days over the last 10, 15 years. So I think there's much more of an appreciation for the need to have emotional intelligence than there ever has been before. But I think the more senior you get in an organization, the more you appreciate the nuance of organizational structure and agency issues, et cetera, and how you navigate those really can make or break your success, especially at the most senior levels. And so I think at least having sensitivity to it is super, super important.
No, and I love the nuances, and I really suggest people go read it. And it's well written, by the way. But if you have those like core abilities, and you have a craft that you've mastered, and then on top of that craft, you've also mastered your emotional intelligence and being able to understand the team and those dynamics. And then once you've gotten that, it's like dynamics of teams, and that's the higher level organization one. But just having those awarenesses and skills is really like this mix, and I haven't been able to articulate it. And then I read that article and I'm like, dang, like that is it. That is what I feel and I experience and I see. But Derek just went and wrote it out in an articulate, beautiful way.
I'm glad it resonated. I think we've all known people that were the extremes of each one of those three, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think I could point to a single person that has had longevity of success when they really focus on one of those three. They may have moments of success, but in terms of the ability to maintain momentum and maintain success, you can't just do one of them. And I would challenge you at the highest level of achievement, you can't just do two. Like you really got to be strong at all three of those things and know how to apply the different intelligences at different moments. If you're purely empathetic and you're all about EQ, sometimes your effectivity can be damaged. If you're all about IQ, then you can leave bodies behind in terms of how you execute. That was more of how I was wired, right? And then I think I started discovering the nuance of relationships, especially at the senior level, and organizational structures and influence and all of those things.